This week, I'm going to lead you through a slow flow vinyasa practice. This is a full body practice with a lot of balancing poses as well. Let's get started. For this practice, you don't need any props. So just a mat or any other kind of a practice space. And then we're going to start from lying down on the back. So bring yourself on your back. You could have your knees bent if you want, or you might extend your legs for a few breaths. And we'll just take a few breaths in and out here before we start to move. And you could bring your hands onto your body, maybe on your belly or the bottom of the ribs, so you can feel your breaths in your hands as well. Just become aware of the pace, the rhythm in your breath. If Ujjayi breath is a part of your practice, you might find a gentle Ujjayi breath here. Or if you want to slow down your breaths in a different way, you could inhale through the nose, exhale through pursed lips. So using your lips to slow down the exhalations. But most importantly, as we start to move and throughout the practice, focus on ease of breathing. And if there's any pose, any movement that you feel doesn't allow you to breathe, you can always take a break from the pose, focus on your breath, and then maybe join in the next pose. And then when you feel that you're ready to start moving, bring your hands, your arms down next to your sides, and bend your knees, stepping feet on the mat. You could swing the legs a couple of times from side to side. And then bring your legs to center. We're going to do a few lifts into the bridge. And today I'm going to suggest that we have the weight on the heels when we go into those bridge poses. So arms next to the sides, legs, feet roughly hip-width apart, and shift the weight onto the heels, so toes, the balls of the feet off the mat. Inhale on the mat. And then as you exhale, press down through the heels to lift your pelvis, to lift your back off the mat. Inhale at the top, you can press down through the backs of the shoulders. And then as you exhale, slowly release the back and the pelvis down. Inhale on the mat. And again, as you exhale, press the heels down to lift your pelvis, your back off the mat. You choose how high up, how low down the bridge is. And with the next exhalation, you can release your back, your pelvis down. We'll do this 2 more rounds, just waking up the legs. Exhale, press the heels down, lifting the pelvis back. Keep inner thighs engaged, so don't let your knees escape to the sides. And exhaling down. Slow, controlled movement following the pace of your breaths. Inhale on the mat. 1 more time. Exhaling, press down through the heels, lifting up into your bridge. And exhale again. Release the back, release the pelvis down. Release the toes on the mat as well. Open arms into a cactus shape on the sides, and then swing the legs again from side to side. This time maybe a bit bigger movement, so full windshield wipers movement, allowing the spine to twist. A couple more times from side to side. And then bring legs to center. Now leave your left foot on the mat, lift your right leg up into the air, and you can bring hands behind the right knee or thigh. and start to circle your right ankle, your right foot. Trying to draw as big circle in the air as possible with your toes. After a few circles, change the direction. And keep breathing here. Try to keep your shoulders soft, neck soft. One more circle. And then bring your foot back to center and change legs the other way around. Right foot comes down. We lift the left leg up into the air. Bring hands behind the left knee or thigh. And then we start to circle the left foot, the left ankle. Just waking up the foot, the ankle support, the toes. You can move your toes as well. Changing the direction. When we do our balancing poses, it's good to be in touch with the foot. Waking up that support that grounds us down towards the floor. Another circle, another breath in and out. And then again, bring the leg to center. And now we're going to extend the right leg as well. Bring arms back next to your sides. With your next exhalation, slightly lift your upper back, your head off the floor. Inhale. And as you exhale, start to hover the right leg slightly off the mat. We start to wake up the core as well. Inhale here. As you exhale, change your legs the other way around, hovering the left leg, right leg lifting up. Inhale. Exhale, change legs the other way around. Inhale. Exhale, changing the legs. Continue a few times. Always inhale to pause. Exhale, move. Inhale. Exhale, scissoring the legs. Couple more times. And with the exhalation, changing the legs. Exhaling, changing the legs. One more time, both sides. Exhale, left leg up. Exhale, right leg up. And then release. Bring your head, your shoulders down. You could hug both knees in towards the chest. Rock a bit from side to side. And then holding on to your legs, start to rock forward and back. A few times so that you can then bring yourself all the way up into a seat. And from that seat, bring yourself onto all fours, onto hands and knees. And we're going to open the palms, spread the fingers on the mat. We're going to tuck the toes under and then exhale, lift into a downward facing dog. And it's our first downward dog. You can move here a bit. Walk from one foot to the other, walk from one hand to the other. Just testing the weight on the hands as well. And then we're going to go into our first slow vinyasa flow. From downward dog. As you inhale, bring yourself forward to plank. As you exhale, lower down into low plank or all the way down on the mat. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale into downward dog, lifting the pelvis up again. Let your head drop down in downward dog. And from here, we're going to step into a high lunge. You can look forward. Inhale, lift your right leg up in the air behind you. And then exhale, step right foot all the way forward to your hands, keeping the left knee off the mat. As you inhale, start to find your back, your arms up, finding your balance. So finding that high dragon lunge. As you exhale, cactus the arms, opening the chest. Lifting the chest bone up. Breathe here in and out. Feel the weight is at the center on both legs. Take another breath in and out. And then as you exhale, bring your palms together in front of the chest. We're going to go into a twisted lunge. As you exhale, bring left elbow to the outside of your right knee or thigh. With the next in-breath, start to turn the chest further to the right side. And breathing here, you might look up, you might look out to the side. Maybe you look down to the mat. Take another breath in and out. And then as you exhale, slowly release the twist. Bring hands onto the mat. As you inhale, swing your right leg up into the air behind you. And exhale, bring the foot down, back into downward dog, and we'll add our second vinyasa flow here. With your in-breath, come forward to plank, pushing the floor away. Exhale, low plank or all the way down to the mat. Inhaling cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale into downward dog, lifting the pelvis up. And follow your own breath. You might go a bit faster, you might go a bit slower. We're going to go into that high dragon on the other side. You could look forward to your hands. Inhale, send the left leg up into the air behind you. And then exhale, step left foot forward. Check your knee is roughly on top of the heel. And from there, again, we're starting to look for the balance. Lifting the back, lifting arms up, opening the chest. This time, bring hands behind your head or behind the neck. And then as you inhale, start to lift up through the chest. Exhale, lean your head onto your hands, opening the chest, elbows still reaching out to the sides. Breathe in and out. And inhale, bring yourself back up. And exhale, release the hands, bring palms together, again in front of the chest. As you exhale, now bring your right elbow to the outside of your left knee or thigh. And then inhale, start to open your chest out to the left. Don't let your right elbow push the left knee in, so rather keep pressing the left thigh onto the elbow as well. Take another breath in here. And then as you exhale, release the twist. Again, bring hands on the mat. And as you inhale, swing the left leg up into the air. Head can drop down. Exhale, bring both feet to the mat. We'll add another vinyasa flow here. Or you can stay in a longer downward dog. You choose. If you want to flow, inhale, come forward to plank slowly. Exhaling down, again low plank or all the way down. Inhaling cobra or upward dog, opening the chest. Exhale into downward dog, lifting the pelvis up, head dropping down. Pause here to breathe, one breath in downward dog. And then we're going to walk hands and feet together. They could meet somewhere in the middle of the mat. So you can shift all the weight onto your feet. Bring hands onto your shins. And as you inhale, extend the back halfway up into flat back. Exhale, bend down, full forward bend. Knees could be bent. Pause here to breathe. Heavy head dropping down. Feel the weight is still on the heels and the balls of the feet. As you exhale, bend the knees, bring pelvis under, and as you inhale, roll the back up. If you want, you can reach arms up. Exhale, bring palms together in front of your chest. And take a couple of breaths in and out. Mountain pose. So now we're maybe somewhere in the middle of the mat. If not, make your way to the center of the mat. And we're going to go into moving warrior 3. We're going to start by standing on the right foot. And either hands together in front of the chest, or you can open arms to the sides, you decide. We're going to lift left knee towards the belly, towards the chest, and then slowly lengthen arms up, overhead. Find your balance here. Inhale. As you exhale, send your left leg back into warrior 3, reaching your back, your head forward. Arms come down next to the sides. Next in-breath, lift the back up. Bring left knee towards the chest. Arms lengthening up. Same again. Exhale, send the left leg back. Reaching the crown of the head forward. Keeping chest open. And inhale, lifting up again. Left knee comes towards the belly, towards the chest. One more time. Exhaling, left leg reaching behind you. Standing leg, knee could be bent. And inhale, lifting up, arms reaching up overhead. And exhale, release your foot down, release arms down. You can walk from one foot to the other. We'll do the same standing on the left foot. So now shift the weight onto your left foot. Again, that knee could be bent. And then bring your right knee towards the belly, towards the chest. And again, you could have your palms together in front of the chest. You could have arms long down next to your sides. Find your balance. Inhale and slowly lengthen arms overhead. As you exhale, now send your right leg back into that warrior 3, reaching head forward, opening the chest. As you inhale, lift your back up, bring right knee towards the belly, towards the chest, arms lengthening up. Same again. Exhaling into that warrior 3, grounding down through the left heel. And inhale, lifting the back up. Bring right knee towards the belly, towards the chest. One more time with your exhalation. Right leg reaching back, head reaching forward. So there's a long line through the whole body. And inhaling, bring the right knee up. Bring your back up, arms reaching up. And then exhale, bring both feet down and then bend forward into a full forward bend. Hands can come down, head can drop down. Hands on the shins, inhale to flat back, opening the chest here as well. Head reaching away from the tail. Exhale, bend down. We're going to walk into a downward facing dog. So you might walk hands forward, you might walk feet back, reaching pelvis away from the hands, head dropping down. Either stay in this downward dog or we can add a vinyasa flow here. If you want, inhale, come forward to plank, and exhale, low plank or down onto the mat. Inhaling cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale into downward dog, reaching the pelvis up, head dropping down. And then we're going to go into gate pose. Now, as you inhale, send your right leg up into the air behind you. And then exhale, bring right knee forward and lower the knee on the mat somewhere under the pelvis, under the belly. Step right hand a bit further forward on the mat. And we're going to inhale, step right foot behind us turn to the side of the mat so that your left leg is extended. Right hand under the right shoulder. You can either stay here, or as you inhale, start to lift your left leg up into the air. So we come into a balancing pose again. Or if you want, you might bend the left knee, reach left hand for the left foot or ankle behind you, and that might give you an opportunity to open more through the front. But that's very optional. We're going to breathe here, pressing down through the right arm. You might look down to the mat. You might look out to the side. You might look up towards the ceiling. Take another breath in and out. And then as you exhale, slowly bring your left foot down. Bring your both hands to the mat. Turn your pelvis, your chest towards the mat. And we're going to now inhale, lift the right knee to the belly, to the chest. Exhale. And as you inhale, send your right leg up into the air, into that three-legged dog. We're going to go forward and back a few times. We're going to exhale, come forward to plank, bring right knee towards the chest, hovering the right leg. And inhale back into three-legged dog. Head can drop down. Exhale again, forward into that plank with right knee coming towards the chest. And exhaling, three-legged dog. One more time. Exhale, come forward, right knee towards the chest. And then step your right foot between the hands. Turn your left foot onto the mat, warrior, two legs. And inhale, bring yourself up to standing, warrior two. You can adjust your feet if needed. Soften your shoulders. And you could turn your gaze over the right hand fingers. Breathing here, keeping the back leg extended, the front leg bent. Make sure you can still see your right foot big toe from behind the knee. Take another breath here, in and out. And then, as you inhale, turn palms up to the ceiling and look to your left hand. As you exhale, fold over that right leg into an extended side angle, either right elbow on the right thigh, or you can reach your right hand all the way down onto the mat. And you can either reach the left arm up towards the ceiling, or maybe bring that left arm behind the back. That might release the shoulder. Here as well, you might look down to the mat if that feels better in the neck. Take another breath in and out. And then as you exhale, slowly start to bring both hands to the mat. Turn your pelvis, your chest to the mat. Step into a downward dog. And either you can choose to stay in downward dog or add a flow here if you want. So if you want to move, inhale forward to plank. Exhaling to low plank or down onto the mat. Inhale into cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale into downward dog, lifting the pelvis up. Head can drop down. You can move a bit from side to side. And then for a moment, we're going to go into child's pose. So bring your knees to the mat and round your back, leaning pelvis towards the feet. Head can come down. You can also bring hands under the head. And take a few breaths here. Check in with the breath. Let your wrists, your hands rest. We're going to go into that gate pose and that whole sequence on the other side next. And then slowly bring yourself Back onto all fours. Tuck the toes under, lift up into downward dog. And from here, we're going to inhale, send the left leg up into the air. And we're going to exhale, come forward, bring left knee on the mat, left shin on the mat. And you can step left hand further forward. So going into that gate pose. We're going to inhale, step left foot behind us, turn pelvis, turn chest to the long side of the mat. Right arm reaching up. And you can stay here, or if you want, you can slowly inhale, lift the right knee off, right foot off the mat. Or you can bend the right knee, reach right hand to the right foot behind you. Lift arm pressing the floor away. So keep space between the shoulders, the ears. Sending your breaths more to the chest. Take another breath or two in and out here. And then we're going to exhale. Bring the right foot back onto the mat. Bring both hands to the mat. Turn chest, pelvis towards the mat. And then we're going to push the floor away. Lift the left knee off the mat. Inhale here. Exhale and then send the left leg up into that three-legged dog. Head can drop down and we'll move forward and back again a few times. As you exhale, come forward. Bring left knee towards the chest, hovering the left foot up. And inhale, reach the left leg up. Three-legged dog, head dropping down. Same again. Exhaling forward. Keep pushing the floor away. You might look a bit further forward. And inhaling, reach the left leg up. We're going to come forward once more. So as you exhale, bring left knee towards the chest. And then step the left foot to your hands. Turn right foot onto the mat. So warrior 2 feet. And then slowly lift the back up. Open the arms. Maybe adjust your feet so you find a stable warrior 2. Rotating the left hip open. Right leg extended. Left knee bent. And again, check you can still see your left foot big toe. Breathe here. Feel the weight is at the center on both legs. And then as you inhale, rotate your palms up towards the ceiling. Look towards your right hand. Exhale, start to fold over the left thigh. Either bring left elbow onto the left thigh, or you can reach your left hand all the way down to the mat. Extended side angle pose. And again, you can keep right arm reaching up, or you might bring that right arm behind the back. Still keep the chest open. There's a long line from your hip to your right foot, and the right foot, the heel pressing down to the mat. Take one more breath here. And then as you exhale, slowly turn your chest down, bring both hands to the mat. And we're going to step into downward dog. Head can drop down. And then from this downward dog, like in the beginning, walk your hands and feet together, shifting the weight onto your feet, hands onto your shins, and inhale to flat back, opening the chest. Exhale, bend down, that full forward bend, head can drop down. And then as you inhale, roll back up. You can bend the knees, reaching arms up. And exhale, bring arms down. Take a couple of breaths in your mountain pose. You can roll the shoulders. And then we're going to do a few lifts up onto our toes, and then do our chair pose on the toes. So bring your feet roughly hip-width apart if they aren't already. And bring palms together in front of the chest. Lightly press the palms towards each other. Now inhale, lengthen the back up. As you exhale, lift your heels off the mat so you come standing on your toes, on the balls of the feet. Inhale. Exhale, slowly, slowly lower the heels back down. Inhale. And same again, as you exhale, lift the heels off the mat. Keep inner ankles, inner heels coming towards each other. As you exhale again, slowly lower the heels down. Inhale as the heels press down. 2 more times. Exhale, lift the heels off the mat. Again, inner thighs active. Pelvic floor lifting up. Exhale, lower down. Here's as well. Slow the way down. Inhale on the mat. 1 more time. You can press the palms against each other. Exhale, lift the heels off the mat. And the next exhalation, bring your heels down. Inhale here. We're going to inhale, lift the back up. This time as you exhale, bend your knees, sitting down into a chair pose. Keep a long line from head to your tail, like you're reaching them away from each other. Keep your chest open. We're going to lift the heels of the mat here as well. As you exhale, staying in chair, lift the heels off the mat. Again, keep inner ankles, inner heels coming towards each other. Keep chest open, keep knees bent. Take 1 more breath in. And then exhale, bring heels down and round your back all the way down into that forward bend. We're going to walk into downward facing dog, where you can then stretch your calves a bit. Pressing one heel down, pressing the other heel down. And then either stay in downward dog or we can add a vinyasa flow here. As you inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, lower down, either low plank or all the way down to the mat. Inhaling cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhaling to downward dog, back onto hands and feet. Head can drop down. Breathe in and out here. And then as you exhale, bring your knees to the mat. Cross your ankles, your shins, and sit over your feet onto your pelvis. We're going to go into balancing happy baby. So first, shift the weight to the back of the pelvis. We're going to have our hips rotated open. Reach right hand for the right foot, either inside or outside. And same with the left foot, holding either the inside or outside of that foot. So now we are already balancing in our happy baby. Trying to keep the chest open. Either keep the knees bent, or if you feel there's a bit of room to extend the legs, you can start to kick the legs out. But still keeping chest open. Don't let the legs pull you forward. Breathing. And send your breaths especially to the chest. Take another breath in and out. So balancing on the pelvis. And then exhale. Slowly bend the knees. Cross your ankles, your shins. We're going to lift ourselves back forward onto the hands. Back onto all fours. And then exhale back into downward dog. Head dropping down again. And we'll add a vinyasa flow here, or you can stay in downward dog. If you want, inhale forward to plank. Exhale low plank or down to the mat. Inhaling cobra or upward dog. Follow the pace of your own breath. And exhaling in to downward dog. Back all the way into downward dog. And then from this downward facing dog, We're going to step or jump both feet forward. So you could look forward to your hands and then step or jump your both feet forward. Hands on the shins, inhaling to flat back. Open the chest. And exhale, bend down, full forward bend. As you inhale, roll the back up. Reach arms up, opening the chest. And exhale, bring the arms down. We have one more standing balancing pose, the dancer pose. So just like for warrior 3, make sure you have some room behind you, in front of you. And we're going to come stand on the right foot first. So bend your left knee and reach left hand for the left foot or ankle. The right arm could reach in front of you, or you might lengthen right arm overhead. And this can be your dancer pose. If you want, inhale, exhale, start to fly forward with your chest. You can gently kick the left leg behind you and find a focus point for your gaze. Standing like a knee could be bent. Breathing in and out. You can hear inner thighs still engaged. And then as you inhale, lift yourself back up. Exhale, release the feet, release the arms. You can roll the shoulders. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, release the arms down. Dancer pose, standing on the left leg, and this will be our last balancing pose. So now bend your right knee, reach right hand for the right foot. And you might be holding the outside or inside of the foot. As you inhale, lengthen left arm in front of you or overhead, and you can stay here in your dancer pose. Or breathing in, breathing out, start to reach forward with your chest. And you can reach back with your right leg. So there's one line pulling you forward, one line pulling you gently back. Be mindful of your shoulders. And send your breaths a bit more to the chest, to the ribs. And inhale, slowly come back up. And then release your feet, release your arms. We're going to go into Vinyasa flow. We're going to inhale, lengthen arms, lengthen back up. And exhale, bend all the way down, that full forward bend. Bring hands on the shins, inhaling to flat back. And exhale, fold forward, full forward bend. We're going to walk into downward dog. So either walking hands forward or walking feet back. And then our last Vinyasa flow, or you can stay in this downward dog. You choose. If you want, inhale forward to plank. Exhale slowly, slowly down. Low plank or down to the mat. Inhaling cobra or upward dog. Breathing to the chest, exhaling downward dog, lifting the back, not back, the pelvis up. And then take a couple more breaths in downward dog. You can shake the head. Just reaching the pelvis away from the hands. And then we're going to slowly bring knees down. Cross your ankles, your shins, and again sit over your shins onto the pelvis. And from here we're going to go into half butterfly, seated forward bend. Now we're going to first have the right leg extended, left leg bent, so that your left foot is maybe on the inner thigh, inner knee, shin. And we're going to inhale, lengthen up through the back, reaching up through the arms. exhale, bend down, either over the right leg, or you might go to the inside of that right leg. Next in-breath, reaching forward through the back. Exhale, see if you could round your back just a bit further down and forward. If it's okay, allow your head to come down as well. So releasing, relaxing through the neck. You might hold your right foot, but try not to pull forward with your arms. That's why I like to just kind of hold my hands on the mat so that I'm not tempted to pull forward, but it's more working with the breath, working with the gravity, slowly releasing down. Take one more breath in and out. And then with the next in-breath, slowly bring your back up. You can roll the shoulders. Now leave your left leg bent and bend also your right leg. So you're in a deer pose. Left hand on the mat somewhere kind of diagonally behind you. We're going to lift up into a deer. So as you inhale, lift your pelvis up, pressing down through both shins, reaching the right arm up. Kind of right hand reaching away from the right knee. And you might look down on the mat towards that left hand. Now opening through the front line of that right knee. Maybe coming into the right side body as well. Take one more breath in and out. And then exhale, slowly release down. And we're gonna go to the other side of it. First, extend both legs, maybe shake the legs a bit. And then we're going to do that forward bend and the lifted deer on the other side. So here, extend your left leg, bend the right leg, going into that forward bending half butterfly first. So as you inhale, lift up through the back, lift up through the arms, and then exhale, fold forward. See where your hands easily land. Then another in-breath, reaching your back, your head forward. And exhale, round the back. And if it feels okay, allow your head to come down as well. So that opening, it runs from the sole of that left foot through the whole back line to your neck, to your scalp. Focus on your breaths. With each exhalation, allow yourself to release just a bit further, just a bit lower into that forward bend. Take another breath in your half butterfly. And then as you inhale, lift your back up. Open the chest. And we're going to leave the right leg bent. Bend the left leg as well. So both shins, both knees on the mat. Step right hand diagonally behind you. And then as you inhale, lift the pelvis up. Opening now through the front of the left thigh, left hip, into the left side. Again, you might look down towards the right foot. Not right foot, sorry, right hand. And breathing here, a couple more breaths in and out. You'd send your breaths towards that left side body, left thigh. And exhale, slowly release down. And release both legs. Give your legs a bit of a shake. And then we're going to go lie down on the back. So bring yourself back down on the mat. You do a few windshield wipers here, just gently twisting through the spine. And then we're going to go into a full twist. I'm suggesting the one-legged twist today. If you rather keep your both knees bent, that's very fine. So first side, extend the right leg, bend the left knee and bring the left knee just gently towards the belly, towards the chest. Bring right hand to the outside of your left thigh. As you exhale, cross that left leg over to the right side of the mat. You can let your whole pelvis turn and then open your chest. Maybe open the left arm out to the left side of the mat as well. Or you could leave your left hand on the left side. What would feel better in your shoulders? Head can turn to one side or the other. And like I said, if this is too much for your back now, then bend both knees so your right knee is under the left knee. That's often a bit more gentle for the back. And breathing here. Imagine, visualize your breaths spiraling along and around the spine. Take another breath in and out in your twist. And then as you exhale, draw in through the lower belly. Bring your left knee back to the chest. Roll onto your back. And we're going to change the legs the other way around. So now extending the left leg and hugging the right knee in towards the chest. We'll bring left hand to the outside of your right thigh. And as you exhale, cross the right leg over to the left side of the mat. Open your chest, maybe even open the right arm out to the right side. And right knee doesn't need to touch the mat or floor. Right shoulder doesn't need to touch the mat or floor. They might be both happily floating off the mat. And again, you have the option of bending both knees if that feels better. And just breathing here. Head can turn to one side or the other. Take another breath in and out. And then exhale, draw in through the lower belly. Bring the right knee in, roll down onto your back. And then we're going to go into Savasana pose. If you feel that you need to hug the knees in or add another pose here before your Savasana pose, feel free to do that. And as always, you might find your resting pose on your back, on your belly, or you might lie down on one side. This is your resting pose. If you are lying down on the back, you might bring hands onto the belly or one hand on the chest, one hand on the belly. And then bring your full awareness back to your breath. If you've been practicing your Ujjayi breath throughout the practice, now this would be a good time to let go of that and just let your breath relax. Allow your jaw to relax. So not biting teeth together. You might close your eyes. Let tension around the eyes to melt away. And then let yourself just be. Nothing else to do. Just observing the breath, allowing yourself to rest. If you start to feel uncomfortable, you might adjust your pose. Don't feel that you're stuck in that initial pose. It's more important to make yourself comfortable so you feel you can really deeply relax in this last resting pose. If you notice tension in the neck, you might gently rock the head from side to side. Give yourself another 5 to 10 breaths in this resting pose. And towards the end of those 5 to 10 breaths, just check in with yourself. Are you ready to let go of your Savasana pose, or would you like to stay a bit longer? If you want to, you can stay here as long as you want, as long as you need to today, so you don't have to end your practice yet. Equally, if you feel that this is a good time to start closing the practice, you start to bring some gentle movement to your fingers, your toes. Move your hands, your wrists, your feet and ankles. You could lengthen, gently stretch arms overhead along the floor if that's easy from your resting pose. You could open your eyes and then roll down onto one side if you're lying down on your back. And slowly bring yourself up into a seat, into your own final seated pose. And that could be any pose. You might sit cross-legged, you might sit on your knees. Find a pose where you feel you could leave your hips, your back, your shoulders soft. And then bring one hand onto your belly, bring other hand onto your chest. Soften your gaze down towards the floor. And send a few more breaths down to your hands. Thank yourself for bringing yourself onto your mat, into your body, your breath, into your practice today. And if it's a part of your practice, you might bring palms together in front of the chest. And as always, at the end of the practice, I want to thank you for joining in. Just as you are thanking yourself, I also want to thank you for sharing the practice and for joining in the flow. Namaste. Thank you very much.